rate with the other ones you've won?
Oh, they're all as special as each other, so it doesn't mean any more. I don't think it's really weird. I don't reflect that much, so I don't. Forgive me if I can't, articulate things very well tonight. But just the way it went, I've never felt so under the pump in a game for ages. As we were in that second half, I thought that the Broncos probably had the better of, at least the middle part of the game, and probably deserved to, be in that lead. But I suppose, over this course of, the last few years, we've won enough games and built enough belief that when we get our kind of momentum going and our game on, that good things will happen. Yeah, but I must say I was a little worried halfway through that second half.
Yoey's off the field, Jerome's off the field, Scotty Sorensen's off for an HIA, you're down by 16. I thought you were gone. Did you think you were gone?
A fairly big part of me was leaning that way, but one thing I would never doubt was these boys' ability to keep fighting. And it's just it's just one of those games where you get one back and things can change. There's still a long time to go. I think that was the important part. If they had jumped to 24-8 with 15 to go or something, I don't think we would have come back. But it was just enough time to make them sort of get nervous, I guess. I think once they hit the front and then we started coming back, they probably didn't play as much footy as they were just zinging it around everywhere the whole game. Felt like they were just prepared to offload, pass it wide, get it to their strike guys, and they're an absolute handful. But once we sort of got some possession there in the second half, as it got some momentum, then we had a chance. And I'm not too sure what else to say about the rest of it.
You had to play a lot of footy at them in the end, 97% completion rate as well. Kind of freakish. Would you agree?
Yeah, well, the first half, I reckon, the way the season's been going, if most teams we probably would have been up by more than 8-0. So they just weren't going away, and not just they weren't going away, but when they got the ball back, they just were striking. They just seemed to really back themselves from all over the field, and there was sort of a constant threat, which took a lot of actually gas out of our tank, more than I would normally see us. We looked more tired than, especially at the end of that first half, than I've seen us for ages. So we knew we had a battle at half time, and then I don't really know what to say after that.
Nathan, you look quite stunned right now. Has it sunk in what you've just achieved?
Nah, just sitting here, it's slowly sinking in, but it's honestly a whirlwind right now. It's pretty crazy, and I don't really have words to describe it. But honestly, it feels like a dream right now.
Is that the best 20 minutes you've ever played?
Well, I think the 20 minutes before it was close to the worst I've ever played. It was nice to finish on a high, I guess. But it was, to be honest, I think my experience from the past, particularly that 2020 Storm Grand Final, helped me to be in the game at the end of this one. So sometimes things feel shit at the time, like it did in that 2020 game, but I think it's made me who I am today.
Has that same belief as your dad, Nathan, that if you kind of got one back, that they had that inexperience, the Broncos, they are quite young, that if you kind of got one back, you could get into them mentally, that they were potentially a bit vulnerable, they could crumble?
Well, I probably wasn't thinking that far ahead. We were just trying to stop the flood at the time. They were just playing so much footy and just breaking us so easy, so I was just trying to get back in that arm wrestle, and then once we got one, it turned into two, and then before I knew it, I looked up at the clock and there was 10 minutes to go and we're down by 4. And that's where belief started to sort of kick in. I think it's we've got the momentum, we're a big chance here. And it's, I don't know.
Do 3 premiership rings fit?
Were you rattled at 3 for 8 behind the try line?
I wouldn't say rattled. I was probably disappointed with what I was doing. I mentioned that 2020 grand final again. I was rattled that night, and I reckon that's helped me in a moment like tonight. And just I thought that just the belief and the chat behind the line, like it was still good the whole time. No matter who was going off, obviously lost Yowie, a leader, and Romy, and but I got to give a massive rap to Cogs as well. He unlocked me when he came on. He was communicating well, and he was getting me to see things and play footy, and we were just sort of following each other around. And he was a big part of why we won.
When you just touched on it then, when Romy and Yowie went off in very quick succession, did you kind of have what was your reaction to that at the time? And did you kind of have a moment where you thought, it's going to be me who's going to have to take control of things and make it happen?
A little bit. I kind of wanted to do that anyway, considering the way I started that second half, which was pretty poor. And then, once Yowie and Romy went off, it was sort of, it kind of felt like a free shot, to be honest. Like, we just had nothing to lose. We were in a grand final, may as well play. And that's why I give credit to Cogs. He came on with that mentality, and he just helped me get into the game and unlocked me, to be honest.
How do you feel, Jose? A bit stunned over there?
Yeah, just pumped. Just taking the whole thing in. It's just dire straits there after Mam's third, and then as I was sort of going off my HIA, I was just going, this is just a nightmare. Like, looking up at the scoreline, knowing I can't do anything about it for 10 or 15 minutes, and come back on and giving ourselves a red hot crack there, and then Nath, strolls over. Just so proud of the boys, and just never out of the fight. It was looking like things were not real good there, but like Nath said, like the talk was always pretty positive. Like, maybe not in our faces, but like the actual words were positive. But can't believe it.
There's no shame thinking that you were gone in the game. Did you feel at 24-6, with the momentum that they had, that you were just about finished?
After Mam's third, I just felt like they had a lot of momentum, and we were just struggling to sort of get a grip on it. Like, I felt like we'd start our sets all right, and then all of a sudden they would just be a one-on-one miss and stuff like that. It was probably a bit of how the night was going. I thought we were missing a fair few one-on-one tackles, and then during that little period there, that was really hurting us. So we're struggling for points. Obviously, I felt like we had a lot of the running in the first 30 minutes of that first half, and come up with points, but that was off more so an error from them more than anything, the short dropout. So you're just wondering sort of probably how our points are going to come, and then momentum's a funny thing once you've got it. And you take a hold of it, and good things happen. So it was pretty nice.
So Jose, I think on the field you mentioned there are still people out there who question Nathan's talent as a halfback. Can you speak to that? Do they have egg on their face? And are we looking at the best halfback in the world right now?
Yeah. I don't like saying wrapping him while he's in here, or wrapping him when he's not. I just feel like what he's done in this space of time, there's been no other halfback has done it. So I reckon if you put his statistics up against absolutely any other halfback that's played at this point, he's 25. No one's done what he's done. Biggest moment, I won't say of his career, but that 20-minute period, he put the team on his back, and he's just won us our third grand final in a row. So I'm very happy he's our leader, and he's our 7. It's a privilege to play with him.
Ivan, you've watched him play for 20 years. Have you ever seen anything quite like what you did tonight?
No, I haven't actually. I can't even remember the last time we had to come back and win. I honestly can't remember. The 20 grand final comes to mind actually. Like, we were kind of ran out of time that night. We didn't get it together quick enough. It was pretty amazing effort. I agree with that. Like, the start of the second half wasn't his best moments, and I did see his face on the big screen after a try when he was coming back for a kick-off, and I did think to myself, he actually looks really clear. And if you look at the 2020 grand final, he wasn't. So I thought, that's at least that's good news. I didn't think what was going to happen after that though, but that just. I think that explains that the lessons he's learned gave him the clarity to be able to go, okay, now it is back to the wall. Now I'm just going to go after it. Whereas I thought the first half was probably they were going after it, and we were happy to just play field position and stuff. Which, by the way, has won us plenty of games just doing that. But tonight we had to do more, which I think we were prepared to do in the second half, but it didn't go quite to plan at the start of the second half. But once we were put in that position, it was just awesome to see the boys just back themselves and just let it all go. And just lucky enough for us. Obviously could have gone either way, but it was, the light was shining on us tonight. So
Nathan, it was pretty chaotic out there. Like, was there a moment in that 20-minute period where something clicked for you, or you did you have some sort of thought out there where you just stepped it up?
after they went to 24-8, probably behind the line, I was sort of like, I got nothing to lose, I need to take it on. And then when Yowie and Romy went off and Cogs came on, that was probably a flick for me as well. Just to just follow the ball around and try to do something. And then as we were going all right, like just had to keep reminding myself, like I thought, like every part of me was saying it was easy to quit at that stage, just because we were close. It was easy to say that, but I just had to keep fighting that feeling. And I was bloody tired for half of it. I think all the boys were. But yeah, just down but never out.
Just on that, did you find the heat, like it was so hot today? Did you actually feel it?
Yeah, we just spoke about it, me and Yowie, just before. Like it's easily the hottest grand final we've played in, probably one of the hottest games. It was like, felt like as soon as we ran out there, it was dry mouth straight away. So, but I guess that opened the game up in the second half.
Well, you remember the broke Parramatta sides and all the broke players, Jack Gibson.
Why can I remember him? Yes, I do. Yeah.
It's surreal to think you're in that same position now, and you can look back with exactly what they achieved, that you have now achieved that as well.
Yeah, totally surreal. I don't know how to explain that. Yeah.
Ivan, so to follow that, is this side earned the right to say it is now among rugby league's greatest ever sides, given no other side has done it in a salary cap era where it's not meant to happen? Let's be honest.
Yeah, well, I guess obviously that great Parramatta side, but that wasn't actually the NRL era as well. Like things were different. It was just pretty much the Sydney comp back then. So, not taking anything away from what they did, obviously. Yeah, I mean, look, we're not here to, try and explain where we sit in history. I think we'll be able to reflect in the next few days on. It's been a pretty remarkable achievement, and we're super proud of it.
You said on the broadcast, you mean like 4 in a row, 5 in a row?
Well, yeah, I think the best thing about going 3 in a row is it gives you the opportunity to go 4. So I don't know. It's something that Dad's spoken about a lot, but it's just a journey with, it's not a destination. Just got to keep going and enjoying the ride. And I know that winning's a lot more fun than losing, so why not?
So what you're saying is you want a whole handful of rings?
It'd be nice, but we'll see what happens. Honestly, it's an enjoyable group to be a part of. Everyone is allowed to be themselves. It's fun, and that's how it should be. We grew up loving playing rugby league, and now we get the opportunity to do it on the biggest stage, on the biggest nights, and yeah, it's pretty special.
I think you mentioned remarkable achievement earlier. Just a word on Stephen Crichton. Tries in 4 straight grand finals. I know he's going, but he also kicked the goal, which kind of proved the difference in the end. Just a word on his contribution to this club.
Oh, yeah, immense. Yeah, Critter's been a huge part of our team. Starting as a skinny, talented kid in 2019, he pretty much wasn't even training with us. Came and debuted on the same night as Spencer Leniu and Matt Burton. Which was pretty cool, and then he's hardly missed a game, honestly. I can't even remember him missing a game. And he's just grown into not physically imposing, but he just seems to always be able to put his stamp on the game just at the right time, and he did it again tonight. So I didn't want to think about him leaving. I just want to enjoy him, the next couple of days and what he's done for our club, and this season in particular. He's a little bit like Appy and Kicks last year, where they feel like they had their best season. Spencer's probably the same. Their best seasons in their last year, so it makes it even harder when they leave. But unfortunately, that's the salary cap era, and that's what we have to deal with. And next year I'm not even thinking about next year, but we'll have to start from scratch and zero, and like everyone else. And yeah.
Jerome's shoulder. Did it go out again, or what was the story there?
Oh, I don't know, but at half time he really didn't have much power at all. So classic Romy, just says, trust me, man. And so okay, I will. But we sort of always already told Cogs, mate, just be ready to go at any time. And Cogs has been, as Nat said, he's been unbelievable. He's done that the whole year in different circumstances, and it's not easy, especially if you're a halfback and you play 80 minutes, you start, and you get a little reps during the week, and he hasn't been getting that. Yeah, extraordinary, and a young man who certainly deserves it, and we're going to miss him as well.
Ivan, there was so much talk about Reece Walsh in the lead up to the game. I know he set up that third try for Ezra Mann, but how did you do the job on him you did tonight?
Oh man, I thought he was pretty electric. I wasn't happy when he was getting the ball because I was worried. But you know, like most of the time, if you play well and you know control the ball and get him in positions where you want, then you limit those guys, which I think we limited. But he did some good stuff as well. So yeah, it's scary what the Broncos can get themselves to in the future. So anyway, I'm not going to worry about that tonight.
Ivan, when you came back to this club, you signed a 5-year deal. Tonight's 5 years since you came back. Did you imagine that this team would be able to achieve in your wildest dreams what they have, 4 grand finals, 3 premierships?
Well, for starters, I definitely dreamt of good things. You know, we wanted to become a team that was consistent, reliable, something that our fans could be proud of. We definitely made a decision to that winning was, you know, we had to win. I mean, that sounds obvious, but you know, we sort of just tried to create that type of environment where anything else was not acceptable. I thought we had the team to be, and the system and the pathways to be able to do that. It wasn't too good early doors, but no, I could never have thought that we would play 4 grand finals and win 3 comps. No, but I'll take it.